We build high-end Flutter apps. It's what we do. But this project in Hyderabad, this was different. This wasn't just another contract. This was personal. And he wasn't your typical entrepreneur. He was a true enthusiast. He showed us previous failed attempts to build the app. They all missed the soul, he said. The luxury, the kick. Our mission was clear. And let's see how we did it. You are looking at the main screen of the app. Each one tells a different part of the story. But today, we are focusing on just one, the onboarding screen. A perfect case study for anyone getting serious about Flutter UI design. Whether you are just starting with Flutter or you are a mobile dev looking to level up, this is the kind of screen that showcases the real-world Flutter widgets working in harmony. We are going to build this gorgeous interaction using 3 simple Flutter animations. But here's the trick. You only need to understand one. The other 2, copy paste and done. We will explore how to use AnimationController for precise motion control and connect tweens for smooth interpolation and structure your widget tree for beautiful maintainable code. And by the end of this video, you will know how to build onboarding screens like this with confidence, clarity, and code that belongs in production. Let's get started with our Flutter app development journey. I have already set up a Flutter project. It's called Car Rental App. I have given it a custom font. This font makes our design pop out. Now I am going to create a new Dart file called onboardingscreen.dart. Inside it, we will define a stateful widget, a core building block in Flutter UI design, especially when you want dynamic or animated interfaces. I will also add the standard material package import. And for now, we will keep it simple by showing a basic hello world, the classic first step when you learn Flutter. Next, I will head back to our main.dart file and wire everything together by assigning this screen to the home parameter inside our material app. We will do a hot reload and see our hello world on the simulator. If this setup feels a bit quick, don't worry. I have added a link in the description where I walk through this process in more detail. Let's bring our first animation to life in Flutter step by step. We will create a new file and call it HeroImage.dart. Inside it, we will define a stateful widget, also named HeroImage. Now comes the real deal. We extend the state class using single trigger provider state mixin. Now what is this? But before that, what is mixin even? Mixin is made up of 2 words, mix and in. These are classes that allow us to mix properties and methods from other classes without the need to inherit it. Mixin, inheritance and interfaces are 3 different concepts which are often mixed together. Save this image for future references. It will be helpful. Single ticker provider state mixin provides a ticker, and a ticker in Flutter is a heartbeat signal. It fires once per frame and it is perfectly synced with the display's refresh rate. This is how animations stay smooth. Next, we will define our animation controller. An animation controller is the remote control of your animations in Flutter. It doesn't create the visual animations itself, like a color change or a movement, but it manages the animation's state and progress. Inside init state, we initialize the controller. We pass vsync from the mixin. Duration is the total runtime of the animation. AnimationController in Flutter gives us full control. We can play, stop, reverse, or loop the animation at will. To begin, we will move the controller forward, but we will do it only if the widget is still mounted. This avoids triggering animations on destroyed widgets. Just enough time for the user to notice the animation enter. And don't forget to dispose the controller in dispose. It frees resources. Now let's render something simple, a red square. This will be our animated hero. Let's wire this widget into our onboarding page. There it is, but nothing's moving. Let's change that. We had defined AnimationController. Now it's time to define animation. We will define our first Flutter animation, a slide animation. It moves an object from one point to another. We initialize it using an offset tween. A tween is a short for in between. It is a class in Flutter that helps you define the range of values for an animation. It has a start value and an end value. We have different types of tweens in Flutter, and we are going to use offset tween. Offset represents a 2D position in x and y coordinates. X means horizontal, y means vertical. We are going to set start position and it's towards the very left of the screen, and end will be at the final position, that is 0, 0. We have described a horizontal movement from left to center, a common pattern in Flutter onboarding screens and UI transitions. Now let's connect this to the master clock, that is our animation controller. For animation curve, we will use ease in. Ease in feels more natural because things in real life don't start moving at full speed. They gradually pick up speed. Linear animation moves at constant rate, which looks robotic and unnatural. To apply this, we will wrap our red box with slide transition, passing our animation as the position. Boom! That's our first Flutter animation. Looks sleek. Next, we add a scale animation. This uses a double tween, meaning its value will be between two variables of type double. It will start from 50% of its original size and scaling up to full. 0.5 means 50% and 1 means 100% here. We nest our slide transition inside a scale transition. And now the red box not only slides in, it scales up, adding depth. Finally, we define a fade animation. We will keep it simple for now and improve on it later. We wrap everything with fade transition and pass the fade animation as the opacity. And voila! Our hero element now slides, scales and fades in one smooth entrance. It's time to add this PNG image to the code and animate it. We have already copied the image into our assets folder and added it into our pubspec.yaml file. Nothing fancy, just standard Flutter stuff. We will use image.asset and pass in the path of our car image. We will use boxFit.contain so that the image fits within its box without cropping or stretching. Perfect for showing the full car without distortions. Let's write the code and see the effect. The animation is smooth but still doesn't feel premium. I know the reason. That's because we are using ease in animation for scale, fade and slide. Ease in animation starts slow and finish fast. We will go a step further and improve this by using a reduced overshoot curve. If you don't understand, it's fine. Think of it like a bouncing ball, which goes a bit more beyond its final position and then comes into place. Let's define this animation like a cubic curve. We will replace ease in animation with our new curve. We will also add an interval to fade animation. We want it to finish early, say by 70% of the total animation duration. This gives complete animation a natural sequencing that looks wow. Let's do a hot reload and see how it looks. It looks amazing. Do you notice the gap on the left hand side we have in animation? Moreover, we would also like the car to be more on the left than in the center. There is a simple Flutter solution to this. We will use transform widget to give it an offset. We will wrap our image into a translate widget and give it an offset of -20 units on the x-axis. Now the animation looks much more refined and premium. Now that we have brought our hero image to life using Flutter animations, the rest of the elements, like these animated circle, follow the same animation architecture. I will walk you through the setup, and once you understand the pattern, you will be able to extend it easily to the other widgets. You will find the complete Flutter codebase linked in the description, and feel free to reach out in the comments if you need help. Let's talk about these two animated circle widgets coming in from the top left corner. Like before, we start by defining an animation controller which controls the timing and playback of our animation. We then define our first slide transition. This moves the circle from an off-screen position to its final visible position. This gives the impression that the circle slides in diagonally from the top left, which adds a nice dynamic motion to the UI. The second circle uses a very similar setup, but here's the key difference. We delay the animation by 20%. This creates a staggered animation effect where the second circle follows the first with a slight delay, resulting in a more natural and elegant entrance. Now let's connect our animation to the main onboarding screen. As you can see, the animation currently appears centered on the screen, and that's because by default we have centered the content inside the column. Notice how the animation now snaps into place. The spacing between the widgets isn't quite right just yet. But don't worry, we will fine-tune all of that. Now let's work on the text animation on the screen. But instead of manually animating it every time, I have created a reusable custom Flutter widget called WordCascade Animation. You can find the implementation inside the WordCascade Animation.dart file. This widget animates both the title and the subtitle, each with a different text style, but following the same slide and fade cascade animation pattern. Let's break down the parameters that make this widget powerful and flexible. We pass in the main string we want to animate. The widget automatically splits this string into individual words and animates them one by one with a staggered delay. The style parameter lets us customize the text style, font size, weight, color, etc. It's completely optional but gives us the flexibility to match the animation to our app's typography. Unlike hard-coded delays used in simpler widgets, here we accept delay as an input parameter. Let's zoom into the init state function. You will see we use a future.delayed to schedule the animation after the specified delay. This allows us to coordinate this animation precisely with other UI elements on onboarding steps. The slide distance determines how far down each word starts before sliding into place. It uses a fractional value based on screen height, not pixels. For example, 0.7 means each word starts from 70% of the height and animates upward into its final position. Finally, we have duration, which defines the total time for the entire word cascade. Under the hood, the widget automatically splits this duration into intervals for each word, creating a smooth flowing animation. The build method might look a bit complex, but you don't need to worry about the internals. This widget is a plug and play. Just drop it anywhere in your layout to get a consistent and elegant animated text. In our main UI, we will call WordCascade Animation, pass in our title string, and apply a bold text style. Let's restart the app. And here it is. Our animated title slides in word by word, looks clean and modern. The text feels a bit close to the edge. Let's wrap it in a padding widget and add edge insets.only with left value of 16. Reload the app and that looks much better, nicely spaced. Let's now add a subtitle using the same WordCascade animation widget, but with a different font size and a slightly different left padding. Copy, paste, tweak this style and you have another animated line that flows perfectly under the title. We have come a long way in building this beautiful animated Flutter onboarding screen, and now just two final UI elements remain, the skip button and the action button. Both of these are custom Flutter widgets designed to be modular, reusable, and easily composable within your widget tree. Just like any well-structured Flutter widget, these buttons take two essential parameters. Text, this is the label you want to show on the button, whether it's skip or get started, and on pressed, a callback function that gets executed when the user taps the button. It's a standard void callback, letting you hook into any app logic, from skipping onboarding to navigating to the home screen. These buttons follow Flutter's stateless design principles with clear separation of concerns and UI behavior. Each button is implemented in its own Dart file, making the codebase clean, readable, and easily testable. Now we will place both buttons into our widget tree. First, the skip button, but with a twist. It appears after a 2.5 seconds delay. This delay is intentional. It gives user time to read the message before showing the option to skip. It also syncs beautifully with our existing entry animations, creating a natural UX flow. Next, the action button, typically anchored at the bottom of the screen, guiding users to the next step in the flow. Once placed, we trigger a hot reload to see them in action. The onboarding screen is now complete, fully animated, responsive, and production ready. And that's the wrap. We have just built a complete animated onboarding flow in Flutter, all with reusable parameterized widgets, from smooth text animations to seamless skip transitions. and a clean modular action button. Everything is production ready and easy to scale. With this widget-driven approach, you get faster development and a UI that's clean and easy to maintain. Whether you are building onboarding product tools or just adding some polish, these widgets fit right into any Flutter app. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe and share with a fellow developer. Thanks for watching and catch you in the next video. Bye-bye.